Are you ready?
It's gonna be a hot girl disco summer. I'm never doing that again. I apologize. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Here, let's fix it. Something cool. Are we live? Is this thing on? Hi, what's up? How's everybody doing? We got freaking football. We got football. A few days away. But I mean, Bill Belichick coaches tonight. That should be cool. That should be really cool. So we're in a draft, not a mock draft, real money draft. This is going to be our second last, I believe. Drafters main. I don't think I'm going to max it out, but yeah, this is going to be our second last one. We're in a lobby. We're here. We're rocking. Everything's going well. Everything's going swell. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Labor Day long weekend. Well earned, well deserved. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hi. I appreciate it. If you guys got fantasy football questions and needs, your boys got answers. And yes, we took Justin Jefferson there, and I'm okay with taking Justin Jefferson because we're going to try to create something a little bit different. Now, this is not a mock draft, guys, and there's a significant opportunity. I'll tell you guys about the opportunity. This is a real money draft with real money implications. Let's change the camera angle. There you go. Now you guys can see me. This is a real money draft with real money implications, and the overlay is going to be absolutely stupid. This is the drafters main. It's a $2.5 million fantasy football draft where $500,000 goes to first. It's total points format. Most points wins best ball weekly scoring from weeks 1 to 17. There's 12 teams that draft. There's a fast and just a fast now because we're getting close to lock. It's a $20 entry. You get to max out with 150 lineups. Now, as it stands, there may be like a significant overlay. And what that means is no matter what, placements from like 1 all the way to like the 28,000th lineup, these guys all place in the money because drafters is guaranteed that people are going to get this money and place in the money. So with less entrance there, the likelihood that your lineup that could have gotten bumped out will then give you positive return on investment. Does that make sense? And it's best ball. So you don't have to manage your lineups. This is how it works. You got 20 rounds to build your rosters for depth. Each week you start the following positions: 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex. At the end of the week, the best overall performances will be applied to your weekly matchups. So no more leaving points on the bench. No more waiver wires, no more trades, none of that garbage. You literally just draft and forget unless you're winning a life-changing amount of money. So sign up today and take advantage of this incredible overlay by doubling your first deposit using promo code DISCO to double your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100. So say you put 25, you'll have 50. Say you put 50, you'll have 100. Say you put 75, you'll have 150. And say you put 100, you'll have 200 to use here on this here app. Now, we've been cranking out like recorded content for our week 1 start sit. So I'm ready to answer anything and everything for you guys. Tomorrow we'll be posting our tight end video. Right now you can see our start sits for our running backs, quarterbacks, and our wide receivers. And then we're going to be doing some kicker and defense and special team stuff, but that's going to be all in the same video. If you guys haven't smashed a like here on YouTube, please do so. I appreciate you guys rocking with me and supporting me. Let's see what we could do here with this pick. All right. Josh Jacobs, fine. Brock Bowers is falling. Let's catch up with the chat. Let's go, says Jerry. What's up, Jerry? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're having a great day. Appreciate you, man. How cool was it watching? So, like, there's a kid that, like, I coached. His name is Akeem Mesidor. And if you look at the last 2 sacks between the Miami game last night and the Notre Dame game, the kid who closed it out was a kid that I coached. And that was so cool, man. That was so cool to watch that. Like, he's going places. That guy's phenomenal. And I was a fan of the U before he went there, but like now I'm definitely like my fandom's through the roof. Yo saying what's up? Y'all smash a like. What's up, Sleez? He's probably gone now. Yo, what's up, Knifey? Good to see you, brother. Oh man, I missed the queue. Yeah, these go fast. These go real fast. Pulled off getting Henderson in the 5th in my Homer league. Feels great. That sounds great. I'm happy for you, brother. That's a huge get. My brother. What's up, Andre? Good to see you. Seabass says, what's up, brother? I'm hyped. Football season's finally here. I'm hyped too, man. And guys, listen, we put in some very tasty betting props in those videos. Some very, very, very tasty betting props. All right, we got a question here from Andre. He says, start 2, full PPR, Ridley, Olave, Debo, Golden. I'm going to lean with Golden and Olave. Those are the 2 I'm starting. And I know that everybody and their mother was on my most advantageous wide receiver post. Everybody and their mother was on my most advantageous wide receiver post saying, you're not supposed to start what's his face, Calvin Ridley against Patrick Surtain. I know that. Just watch the freaking video. I tell you, he's a sit. He's a sit. Hot take. He's a sit. So yeah, Calvin Ridley. I listen. I cannot justify starting anybody other than the elite, like 10, 12 wide receivers in the NFL, and Calvin Ridley does not fall into that category. So unfortunately, like, listen, I love Calvin Ridley's outlook for the entire season, but I cannot justify or rationalize recommending you start him. I think the only player who's startable in that game, the only player out of all those players, like Chig might be okay as DFS tertiary option, but like Chig never does anything until down the later portion of the season. So my recommendation is if you are starting somebody from that game, the only player you start from the Tennessee Titans side is Tony Pollard. That's the only person I'm comfortable starting. Everybody else, like, and like he's like a RB2, RB3 flex territory kind of play. Like I'm not in love with the idea of starting him. All right, we'll move the chat from there and we'll bring me down here. All right, No Cap Mac, what's up, buddy? Thanks for swinging by. He says, yo, what's up, Disco? What's up, No Cap Mac? We got 24 people watching us on X. Hi, my name is Disco. I like to party. I also like to win fantasy football leagues and help people win fantasy football leagues. So if you guys head over to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel, smash a like, smash a subscription. Any and all of your questions I will be answering here, borderline exclusively. Like ultimately, I want to help people, but I also want to make sure that like I have personal time with like my wife and to spend time with my dog and just be a person. So we do it here. Okay, we'll take Mr. Pickens here. Did you see that team me and Sleazy drafted? Listen, man. I know for a fact I saw it because it's in the Discord. I know for a fact 100% I saw it, but I helped over 13 people draft their fantasy football lineups via the guys' Patreon this weekend. And I don't remember it off the top of my head, but remind me who you guys drafted and what you guys got. Yo, what's up, AMG? Speak of one of the people I helped drafted. That was a wild draft, man. The 2 drafts I helped you with, both spectacular. Disco, what was the start you were trying to get for a while? Nico BTJ? No, it was Malik Neighbors and BTJ. Why do you ask? I'll take Devonta Smith here. So far in our draft right now, and I forgot to check if I know anybody in this lobby, but I don't think I do. So far, we got Josh Jacobs, Omarion Hampton, Justin Jefferson, George Pickens, Devonta Smith. It's a decent start. It's a unique start for me. I don't know who this guy is, but I love his logo. It's New England Patriots logo. Eagles is in here. That guy's legendary. All right, Andre and Sleez together drafted May, Love, Genty, Bucky, Golden, Olave, Kittle, Flex, James Cook. That's a starting lineup. Oh, yeah, you're the lineup that I said, like, you definitely want to tier up for wide receiver 1 option, and I'm okay letting go of Genty to do so. Did you ever send that offer, Andre? You definitely needed to tier up. You still need to tier up for your wide receiver 1 because I don't think, like, realistically, sell high on Genty now is my suggestion, my recommendation. I'm so excited to put in some pick'ems for you guys. So excited. I've already in our Patreon, I've already put in my favorite pick'em lock. I actually didn't lock it in myself, so hold on. We got to pull up the Discord. Can you guys still hear me? I didn't screw everything up by opening up. Why does Discord always act so weird here? Whole league wants Genty. His hype is wild. Take advantage of it now, buddy, because like this is your sell high window. 100% it's your sell high window. Guys, Bill Belichick makes his college NFL debut tonight. I wonder how you guys feel about it. I don't know how to feel about it, honestly. No idea. All right. Bring your fantasy football questions because we got answers, guys. If you're one of the 35 people watching us, 36 people watching us on X, head over to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel. We'll be answering everybody's questions exclusively in here. You ain't got to pay shit. And tomorrow, guys, we got a very, very, very special first-time show with Hutchinson Brown, with Chev, a.k.a. the legendary ball knower, with Steve D'Angelo from the Fantasy Football Face-Off, and my brother, Michael Rip. And we're going to do a stand on business. So whenever you hear, like, essentially it's discussion-based, argument-based, pushback show. And whenever you guys hear this.
Hold up. What did you just say? I'm going to need you to stand on business.
That means they have a minute and a half to stand on business for their take and defend their opinion. So it's going to be a fantastic pushback show. I'm really looking forward to it. All right, where the heck? My Discord on my PC is just shot. So we'll just put it up here. I want to lock this in after we make our next pick. So get your pick'ems ready, fellas. All right. Would I do Genty for BTJ? 100 gabillion gazillion times over. 100%. All right. So we're going to go here. We're going to pick them. It's the last $10 I got on this app. We're just going to go up here so you guys can see this. And we're going to go NFL. Christian Kirk, over 3.5 receptions. Bijan. Over 3.5 receptions. Drake May, over 11.5 longest rush. Hell yeah. Please tell me the Knicks passing completions is there. Pascalian, I need you to come over to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel, brother. 21.5 passing completions. Hell yeah. Brian Thomas. Over 75.5 receiving yards. I do like his receptions prop and his longest reception. But yeah, I love this ticket, guys. Tail at your own risk. $10 equals 200. We're locking it in. And here we have it, guys. That's my lock for the week. My absolute lock for the week. These 5 props. And if Sleez isn't watching, this is great because he's going to be upset. This is supposed to be for our Patreon guys only, but I figured I'd give you guys a taste week 1. So lock it in, guys. Tail at your own risk. If you guys want to double your first deposit, your first pick'em bet on Drafters Fantasy is on me. Use promo code DISCO. Your first bet's free. Tail that one. It gets to 200, 20x your dollars. So $10 equals 200. And when it smashes, I want everybody to send me their receipts, and I want everybody to send me their ticket because if you guys know me, we cash these at a very, very high fucking rate. Sab Supreme says after my draft yesterday, I unironically realized I drafted Bucky Baker and Emeka. Am I cooked? No, you're not. You're not cooked. You're absolutely fine. I think you're going to be a-okay because, like, you know for a fact Baker's going to have to air it out early and often because that defense is going to give up a lot of points. And you know for a fact, Bucky's one of the most explosive running backs, and Emeka Egbuka is going to get a heck of a lot of volume. I like Emeka Egbuka, more in a PPR format than any other format. Okay. Just saw Rocky join the stream. Where do you go? Where's my little turkey? Thursday night football pick'em. I got you. That'll be you're in there, so you already know. That'll definitely be in our. All right, guys. One of my favorite sleepers, in case you haven't watched the wide receiver video, and if you haven't watched any of our start sit videos, like I give you guys all the fucking bets, all the props, all my favorite locks, like more than what I just gave you guys right now. If you guys want to look at the wide receiver video, especially, you guys will see one of my favorite ladder plays, and just in the sports books, and I've already laddered it up, which is insane. And one of my favorite DFS plays, and one of my favorite wide receiver sleepers, and one of my favorite calls in general. Cooper Kupp is going to be like borderline wide receiver one this week, and I'm not exaggerating. Cooper Kupp this week and this week alone, he's going to be really fucking good at football, guys. So lock him in. All right. Pascalian says flex one, week one, Tillman versus Cincinnati, Downs versus Miami, Shaheed versus Arizona. I'm leaning Shaheed or Downs in that order. Tillman's not an option. Tillman will never be an option. Up dog in the house. What's up dog? What's up, dog? Good to see you, man. I was watching your show earlier. You don't read your chats. That's unfortunate, but it's good to see it. You just missed our pick'em ticket, our pick'em lock. Do you want me to put it back up there for you? BTJ team has Henry and K9 FML. Yeah, he's in a good situation. That is a hell of a draft. I would personally try to like pair Genty with like you said, you have Olave. Hold on, let's go back to your lineup here. You have it somewhere. All right. May, Love, Genty, Bucky, Golden, Olave, Kittle, flexes James Cook. Yeah, I'm not trading away Golden. So I would try to move Genty and Olave and maybe like one more whatever guy for Kenneth Walker and Brian Thomas Jr. I'm an amateur. Nah, I've been here. Cooper Kupp hyped me, got me. Yeah. So like I laid it out perfectly there on the video, but I'll tell you guys right now why I'm so in on Cooper Kupp this week. For starters, if you look at every week he's been healthy in week one, he's broken fantasy football. Like every single week he's been healthy in week one. As a pro, Cooper Kupp's broken fantasy football. So that's for starters, but that's a lazy narrative. So we have to go a little bit further into it. So if you look at that offense, right, the Seattle Seahawks offense, there's three people with a lot of commonality, and those three people are the offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, the quarterback, Sam Darnold, I know, and Cooper Kupp. Those three people have a lot of commonality. They're both aficionados and well-versed in the Sean McVay and the just the Sean McVay schematics and that scheme and the Shanahanigans scheme and the whole concepts, right? So you have that going for you. And then you look at what Robert Saleh did the last 2 years with the New York Jets. The last 2 years, the Jets gave up an average of 25.6 fantasy points to slot receivers on a weekly basis. On a weekly basis. That was by far in that 2 year span the most in the NFL. Robert Saleh is now the defensive coordinator again for the San Francisco 49ers. Their defensive back room is absolutely atrocious. So you take the commonality, you take the knowledge, you take the shared scheme, you take that they're all speaking the exact same language. You add a few wrinkles that no team, including the San Francisco, hasn't seen, right? And you attack that for week one. Cooper Kupp's going to break fantasy football week one, and I'm here for it. He should be in all of your DFS lineups, and there's no world where Cooper Kupp should be on your bench. And then after he does that, especially in your redraft leagues, dynasty leagues, whatever, sell high. Sell so high because like everybody's going to adjust to those minute nuanceable differences of that the wrinkles that they're going to add in because it's gonna be epic. And if you guys don't trust me, you will after this one because we hit these fucking calls. Like we really hit these calls. Cooper Cup hype got me going. I got you, brother. That's why. That's my why. I was going to ask how you think Genty does versus your Pats. I think, listen, Nick, listen. You look at what the Las Vegas Raiders did last year. They were last when it came to yards per carry, dead last, like the worst team, one of like the historically worst teams ever. Like they were really, really bad, right? And then they were last in terms of total rushing yards. They were actually 204 rushing yards less than every other team in the NFL. And then you look at what they did this offseason. They added Ashton Genty. That's a plus. That's a boost. Don't get me wrong. They added a new head coach. They added a new quarterback. They added a couple rookie wide receivers. But what they didn't do, and what people fail to realize, is they didn't really invest in that offensive line. So does Genty give that rushing game a boost? Absolutely. But does that offensive line hold him back? I want to say absolutely as well. I don't think, like, I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be okay. But and like, listen, you spent the draft capital on him, so you kind of made your bet. Like, if you were listening to me off season, I've been telling people left, right, and center, do not draft him in round one unless it's a dynasty. Unless it's a dynasty, that's the only way I could rationalize it. But this year, man, people are going to be really, really, really disappointed with him. I think there's going to be games where he's great. I think there's going to be games where he's really, really good. But if we're talking about like overall outlook, talking about return on investment and positive return on investment, I think he's the biggest trap in fantasy football. So I'm selling high while the hype is like sky high. I'm trying to get a 2-for-1 because I'm telling you right now, just like Marvin Harrison Jr., the price is not going to go up until we see him ball out. And I don't think we're going to really see Ashton Genty ball out at all this year. I hope that answers your question. Henderson clears Genty week one easily. I honestly, I love when my friends send me messages about fantasy football. It just means that, like, you know, when your IRLs start believing in your fantasy football knowledge, like guys you've competed and drafted with in fantasy football, it's a very good feeling. I'm not gonna lie. Do I feel established? Do I feel like I'm one of the best content creators out there? No, my content's like very meh, but I feel like my knowledge and my rationale is up there. Like I could compete with anybody and everybody. I could talk ball with the best of them. My wife loves when I say that. My wife loves it. Man, here's my knock on Powerade. How the hell do you open this thing without breaking your teeth? All right, here goes. Babe, we're going to the dentist. Oh. Ow. I see a tempting trade, Genty for Worthy and Henderson. I think you could add like one more guy. Like if he has a Demario Douglas, throw that in just for shits and gigs. Henderson is in a committee and Genty has the backfield locked up. Can you expand on that? I can. If we're talking about efficiency, explosion, scheme, just an improved situation where the offensive line is better. Game script, the defenses that they're going against, Genty's going to struggle against some pretty good defense. And the Raiders really suck at football, like across the board. They're really bad. So this isn't a homer take. Like I think it's going to be a close game because the Patriots are going to find a way to, you know, kind of shit the bed and make it a close game. But I think the Patriots win overall, and I don't think we're going to get a lot of offensive performance and explosion from we wanted Demario Douglas there. I don't think we're going to get a superior offensive performance and production from Genty this week. So, like, once again, by no means is he a sit. He's just somebody I'm not projecting to do very well. I hope that answers your question. Colby and the Cattle Dogs. That's the wife. She's laughing at that. Sending my 12th team half PPR. Guys, this is one of my IRLs who believes in me as a content creator now. It's really cool. It's like my best friend. Second team, Kyler, Jacobs, Cook, Lamb, Adams, Kelsey, late round, Hubbard, Egbuka, McPherson, Vikings, Braylon, Benson, Sampson, Thornton, Diggs. I like, okay, Kyler. And is there any correlation there? I like the team. I feel like you didn't need Adams, but as a wide receiver too with CeeDee Lamb there, that's great. I love your running back room, like Josh Jacobs, James Cook, Chuba. I love that. I love that you have Egbuka as a contingency, as potentially like a flex, and or as a wide receiver too, in case the old man Adams falls off of a cliff. I love the cuff of Braylon Allen, and I also think that Braylon Allen will emerge in certain scenarios. I love Samson. I think Thornton's a big upside play. Diggs is somebody I'm not in on, but I understand that you have the depth piece there. He's a sell high candidate for me as well. Trey Benson's is a hold, but like he's not somebody I'm drafting, but I love that. I love Chuba though. Guy has Saquon and JT as well. Oh. Our running back situation is kind of hurting. I'm assuming Gordon's gone. Yep. Fuck. Samson's probably gone. Yep. God bless. I need to remember when I get into these lobbies to queue those guys up so I could get all of Updog's guys. All right. Who's the last one? Bigsby's definitely gone. Yep. All right. Well, we got Schnickel Fritz at running back, so we're just going to attack it with volume and handcuffs, and hopefully if one of two of them hit with the floor play of Jacobs and Hampton, I think we'll be okay. But our running back room is definitely our weakness here. Should I start Garrett or Waddle over Emeka for week 1? Going to start Baker, Bucky for sure. Here's the thing, right? Garrett Wilson has a horrendous matchup across the board. Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay, even Joey Porter Jr. coming back. That is terrible. That is one of the worst matchups in football. But aside from Garrett Wilson, they don't really have another passing option. Now, my question to you and my question to the rest of the chat is, do you guys anticipate that Justin Fields in this offense that's going to have to, like this game, guys, is going to be a grimy, gritty, like field position game, play defense, run the rock, punt the football, play field position, try to take a takeaway? Do we anticipate with that football narrative and the way the game is going to play out, right? Do we anticipate that Justin Fields is going to drop back and throw 40 times? So with that being said, the minute options that Garrett Wilson has, yes, he's going to have a lot of volume, but can he produce with that volume? I would say based off of the draft capital that you spent, I like Garrett Wilson, but I have Emeka Egbuka ranked far higher than I have Garrett Wilson. So I'm not telling you to sit Garrett Wilson, but I like Emeka Egbuka in his plus matchup against the slots for the Atlanta Falcons, who gave up the 4th most receptions to opposing slots last year, and they're bringing back the same defensive coordinator with the exact same scheme. So there's my answer. Like Garrett Wilson, you made your bet, you invested in him, you drafted him, you're going to get the volume. The volume is going to be there, but like we're not getting drop back and throw 40 times of volume. So like you're really hoping for a touchdown in there. Something. Sorry for a million questions. Hell the fuck no. Why don't apologize? That's the most Canadian thing ever. Do not apologize. Here's why I'm going to tell you not to apologize. This is literally a fantasy football Q&A. I love when you guys bring me your fantasy football questions. It's one of my favorite things, especially when you come over and subscribe to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel, like the video, and ask me questions here. Like this is one of the best things. It's one of the greatest honors I could do is helping you, Andre. So please don't apologize. This league's personal. They should all be personal. I love that. Gino is Goff Jr. Look at his dome outdoor splits. They are going to have to run. Listen, man, say whatever you want to say. Like, I understand they're going to have to run, but like, look at the implied point total. Vegas isn't expecting a lot of points. I'm not talking about the Raiders. Vegas isn't expecting a lot of points. Like when you look at the sports books, they're not expecting a lot. So what kind of production are you expecting from Ashton Genty? I think Brock Bowers is a smash start. If Christian Gonzalez doesn't play, I'm willing to stagger Jacoby Myers or Thornton or even Batch, but I'm not willing to like play them definitively. Ashton Genty, you have to play him. You have to play him. The upside's there. It's such an upside play, but like just heed with caution. Okay. Tajay Spears. Yikes. Major yikes. Hubbard and Egbuka flex. It's 2 flexes. I like that. Josh Allen. Kyle Siebert audio says Josh Allen, Bucky Irving, Tony Pollard, George Pickens, Xavier Worthy, George Kittle, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, bench, Ollie Gordon, Tesla, Jacoby Myers, Corum. It's solid, man. Looking for feedback on my flex. Should I start Keon Coleman and Shakir? Well, if you look at the implied point totals, that's kind of your answer, right? Out of all the games, Vegas is anticipating that the Baltimore Ravens and Bills game on Monday Night Football is going to be the highest scoring game by far. Like, I want to say it's 4 to 5 points more than the next highest game. They're at 51.5 last time I checked earlier today. The next closest was 47.5. And there's like a cluster of teams that are tied up there. So if you're following the implied point totals, that means they're going to have to throw a heck of a lot. And then if you also look at what Baltimore's really good at, and like they've improved everywhere in the offseason, but what Baltimore's like exceptionally good at and really, really, really good at is stopping the run. So Josh Allen's rushing is definitely going to be in play. I think James Cook is still a viable play because of the high implied point totals. I like him because he's an explosive back, and I love the reception upside. But with 51.5 points, that means you're going to have to air the freaking ball out. So I'm okay with Shakir or Coleman, whoever you think is going to win their one-on-ones in score, right? If you look at where the scheme is weak for the Baltimore Ravens, it was pretty much everywhere last year. But I want to say the biggest vacancy that they have and the biggest weakness that they have this year is in the slot. That's going to be something that Josh Allen and Khalil Shakir are going to be able to attack and target. So if you want the ceiling play, you go Keon Coleman. If you want the floor play, you go Khalil Shakir. I hope that answers your question. Thank you for coming to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel and supporting the channel and asking your questions, brother. I really appreciate that, Kyle. Craig Nelson says, I'm starting Emeka over Wilson this week, and I wouldn't call that crazy. I know other content creators would be like, oh, that's crazy. That's great. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. I think it's very, very legitimate, very sound advice. I don't know about you guys, but like, I wouldn't say I'm overdrafting, but I am looking forward to the DFS stuff. I'm looking forward to the sportsbook stuff and attacking and that stuff. Sweets, thanks for the advice. Just didn't want to get burned running the trio buck stack. Also, starting Henderson, Gibbs, JSN, and London. Boy, here's the thing. Like, when you have good, safe floor plays with high ceilings, it's okay for you to like take a shot on certain scenarios where like the ceiling will elevate your lineup far and beyond any sort of, safe play would. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. That's how you win fantasy football. I have 2 flex positions. Nice, Kyle. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind playing either one of them. So you got Bucky Irving, Tony Pollard, and we said that we're okay starting Tony Pollard this week because he's the only one. George Pickens, Worthy, Kittle, Coleman, Shakir, bench, Ollie Gordon, Tesla, Jacoby Myers, Corum. I would say I would pick Jacoby Myers over one of them, but it goes back to you having to select the one that you want to not play. It's like with how much they run the ball and how high the rate is. Like if you need the ceiling play, start Keon Coleman because he's all touchdown. If you need the safe floor play, just based off of like, okay, you just want to coast, get like 10 to 15 fantasy points, that's Khalil Shakir. And you have that option on Monday Night Football. So just follow the matchup, okay? Nico Collins over versus the Rams. Hey, I like Nico Collins over every single week. But like this Rams, so like if you look at the implied point total there, it's 44.5 points, which is actually one of the lower implied point totals on the week. It's not one of the higher ones. And the reason why, and shout out to Andrew Erickson for talking about this on the Big Heart Energy 24-hour draftathon. Yes, we're name dropping. Yes, it's a weird flex, but I don't care. And shout out to him to dropping this knowledge. You look at both of those offensive lines, they're absolutely terrible. And if you look at both of those defensive fronts, that pass rush, they're both absolutely incredible. They're all like, both defensive lines will get after the quarterback. So if Vegas is saying there's not going to be a lot of points, it's tough for me to be like, this is a lock, but obviously he's like one of the elite tiers, right? I just want to bet on what I feel like is definitive lock based off of, the scheme, the advantageous matchups, all the research that I've done. That's all I bet on. That's all I bet on. Wondering if I should play them both with Josh Allen in a shootout. I mean, I don't hate the idea, but you're also limiting your ceiling. That's mine. You're limiting your ceiling. I feel like playing Jacoby Myers and one of them based off of the scenarios I laid out earlier, I think that would help you a little bit more in your fantasy football lineup. Let me know what you think of this slip. Baker over 1.5 touchdowns, BTJ over 68.5 receiving yards, Nico over 74.5. $100 wins $300. Andre, are you on Drafters yet? Because like if you were to do $100 on Drafters and you deposited $100 on Drafters, that bet right there that you made would actually be $600 and not $300. So my thought to you is I like the bet. I think the bet is great, but use promo code DISCO to double your first deposit on Drafters Fantasy Sports, and then put the free $100 that you were going to bet on that on the bet that you're going to do here and get 600 instead of $300. It's great maths. It's fantastic maths. Because 3 props is 6x here on Drafters in the pick'ems. All right, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for your feedback. I got you. Final draft tomorrow, 12th team, 3 wide receiver and a flex, half PPR. Better start. Jamar, RB, Josh Allen, then 2 wide receivers or Jamar, wide receiver or RB, and draft Nick Murray. So if it's half PPR, you want to bet with a running back with the highest rushing upside. I know everybody's going to say you need to draft Jamar Chase, but like we alluded to in so many of our videos, Kyle, or Jelly of the Month, sorry, you guys both are pink. Like we alluded to in so many of our videos, Jelly of the Month, the history shows, we're going to sneeze. History shows, we're going to fight this sneeze to answer this. History shows that wide receivers who finish as the wide receiver 1 the year prior typically don't finish as a wide receiver 1 the following year. In half PPR, the safest and best play that you can make is a running back. I'm more than okay taking a guy like like Bijan Robinson at the 101, because in a 12-team half PPR, everybody's going to be attacking running back early and often. You're going to get a value. And like, people don't believe this, but like, we have so many receipts right now. Like every single receipt, we have all the receipts. There's 5 people I've assisted drafting. I've done it myself in 2 drafts. Because it's half PPR, if you take Bijan Robinson in round 1, you will potentially get a Nico Collins, Brian Thomas Jr., Drake London type falling to you around the bend on the way back. And you're going to question, you're going to be like, oh, what kind of Pokemon leagues? They're not Pokemon leagues. Just read the room. Everybody in half PPR is going to attack running back early and often. One of the elite values at wide receiver is going to fall to you. So my recommendation is go Bijan, take BPA at wide receiver, and then potentially a Josh Allen or another running back, and then attack the other positions, because we know that the wide receiver values are going to continue to fall. So you want to attack running back. In basketball, it's a little bit different, especially here on Drafters, but in Redraft League, yeah, hell yeah. And I'm assuming because you have Jamar, you have the 101. What pick do you have? I might be the only one to ask this, but any defenses you like this week, that will be a good to start. Well, let's start with the obvious. The Denver Broncos are going to be really, really good this week. Denver Broncos are going to be spectacular this week. I think Green Bay's got sneaky upside with that pass rush. I would pay attention to Micah Parsons and that back, and I would also pay attention to Rashawn Gary. I think KC is a pretty legitimate bet. I think the New York Giants, and I know they're going against Washington, but I think the New York Giants are an all right bet if you want a lot of sacks. If you want a heck of a lot of sacks, that's going to be a good one. I think Seattle might be an underrated defense this week as well. Baltimore is not a good one, but I like Baltimore on the season. I would recommend, based off of the matchup, to go with Washington wouldn't be a bad call either, but their DBs are so dog shit. If we're just talking about Minnesota, for some reason, is available on so many people's waiver wires. I'm okay with either Minnesota or Chicago. Either one of them is going to be good. Let's go through the matchups. Not starting Cleveland, not starting Cincinnati. Arizona might have a sneaky upside this weekend. The Rams or Texans, either one of them should be good. Give you a lot of sacks. I prefer the Texans if they're available. The New England Patriots. That's about it. I like that question. Put me on the spot. I love it. Pick 2 of these to flex. Olave, Williams, like Javonte Williams. Okay. Debo, Flowers, Golden. What's the scoring format? Knifey? Because like the answer for me, no matter what, and like if you're just looking at the advantageous charts that we posted for wide receiver, is Golden. Golden is definitively one of the answers. And then, like, if we're looking at ceiling play, high implied point total, I think it's Golden and Flowers. That's my lean. Dynasty pick, Golden or Warren. Tyler Warren. Yeah, it's Golden for me, but it's close. It depends. Like, are you good at wide receiver or do you need tight end? If you need a tight end, go Warren. If you're looking for the upside play and somebody who's going to be generational, it's Golden. Yeah, first. Okay, so that's my suggestion. That's my recommendation, man. We got people in the chat who I've like, swear to God, I've helped people in this chat do this. If you so BK, if you need Mutombo, if you need a tight end, go with Warren. It's fine. How do you feel about James Cook this year? What's his ceiling? Listen, man, James Cook last year, a lot of people are fading him because he had a ridiculous amount of touchdown production. He like outproduced his EPA significantly, but he also only played 48% of the snaps for all the running backs in Buffalo. Now that he signed his contract, he's inclined to play more of the snaps. He has a high point total, and on the year, man, like as long as he stays healthy, and that's essentially the contingency for pretty much everybody. But as long as he stays healthy, like I think he's a fantastic play. I think he's a fantastic start. So yeah, I like him. Just give him a little bit more volume. He's going to be fine. All right, let's look at what the hell we did here with this draft. Dak Prescott, J.J. McCarthy at the quarterback position. Okay, Josh Jacobs, Marion Hampton, Jerome Ford, Rashad White, Tajay Spears, DJ Giddens, Roshan Johnson, Jarquez Hunter. We attacked 8 running backs. Wide receiver, we got Justin Jefferson correlated with J.J. McCarthy, George Pickens correlated with Dak Prescott, Devonta Smith, Jerry Jeudy, Rashid Shaheed, Jaden Higgins, Jack Beck. Tight end, we have Laporta Saporta. We got Dallas Goedert. We got Jatavian Sanders. This is not a bad draft. Adrian, beat your son. I should not laugh at this, but this is a great name. Adrian, beat your son. 2 flex, 1 wide receiver. McConkey, Breece Hall, O'Marion Hampton, Cup, Brian Robinson Jr., Dobbins, Downs. Okay, you need 2 flex, 1 wide receiver. So automatically Ladd McConkey. I think he's great. Automatically Breece Hall, and then automatically. So it's fuck. Like, I'm not saying bench O'Marion Hampton, but I'm also saying you need to start Cooper Kupp. And I know people are going to say that's stupid advice, but like I laid it out a while ago, man. Cooper Kupp's going to break fantasy football week 1, and then you just sell high. But like the safer play would be O'Marion Hampton, even though the Kansas City Chiefs don't give up a lot of production to opposing running backs. The high ceiling play, and I feel like this is the highest ceiling play on the week at such a wonderful discount, especially in a lot of flexes, and people are going to have him on the bench because not enough people are watching and supporting this channel yet, is Cooper Kupp. So if you want the ceiling play, Kupp. If you want the floor play, Hampton. But regardless, it's McConkey and Breece Hall. Need tight end? Yeah, if you need tight end, hell yeah. Half PPR Amigo. It's the Dynasty League where I'm stacked. Okay. So let's go back to your question here. I'm trying to find it. Okay. Pick 2 of these. Half PPR. Yeah. So like if it's half PPR, I want guys with touchdown upside and then implied point totals to make sense that it's Matthew Golden and Zay Flowers. Debo Samuel is a better PPR play because I feel like they're going to have to fabricate a lot of gadget plays to get rid of the ball early and often against this incredible New York Giants front. And I can't believe I'm complimenting the New York Giants. Javonte, I think I think you could flex Javonte in a PPR league because he's going to get a lot of reception upside with a high implied point total. Olave, I think, is a high upside swing, but I don't trust Spencer Rattler. I need to see it to believe it. There's a possibility that you're leaving points on the bench here, but I feel like if you're playing for the highest ceiling in half PPR, you want to target the touchdowns. It's Flowers and Golden. Mount Matumba says Bills had a grip of rushing yards, rushing TDs all around. Hell yeah, man. Adrian Beat Your Son says, what you think of my squad? Jalen Hurts, CMC, Bucky, Justin Jefferson, McConkey, Kelsey, flexes, Breece Hall, Hampton, bench, Dobbins, Downs, Jennings, Cup, Brian Robinson Jr., Caleb, 10-man. Like, even in a 10-man, this is incredibly stacked. How the hell do you get CMC and Justin Jefferson on the same fucking team? And Ladd McConkey and Bucky? How the hell does that happen, man? Is this a keeper? There's got to be a keeper. feel like you're keeping some. That's crazy. Which superstar is most likely to disappoint fantasy managers this season? Ashton Genty. New York Giants love clip it. Hey man, listen, as a diehard New England Patriots fan, I hate the New York Giants with a passion, but I appreciate good ball when I see good ball. I'm telling you, this Darius Alexander kid that you guys got in the second round from Toledo, he's going to make some noise, man. He's going to make some noise. I love Abdul Carter, don't get me wrong, but Darius Alexander's him. Adventures from the Q says PPR flex, pick one. Cortland Sutton, Tony Pollard, Tyrell McMillan, Ricky Pearsall. I'm going for the implied point total once again on this, and I'm going with the guy with the best matchup on this. And I know we haven't seen it from him as a rookie, but the matchup is screaming that it's an advantageous matchup across the board, and it's going to be an absolute shootout. Give me Tyrell McMillan over the rest of those guys, man, and good luck. Like, I don't like sitting Cortland Sutton, but if this is your flex option, you have good problems, Adventures from the Q. So you want upside if you want to flex one of these guys. These are great problems. I'm assuming that, like, this is either like a dynasty team or that you just built really, really well. But yeah, if it's full PPR, I'm going Tyrell McMillan out of all of those guys this week. It's not a keeper. Wow, man. Invite me into your league next year, Adrian. Beat your son. Brees and Hampton, 2. 3 out of 12, 3 out of 12 top 12 picks are busts per year. Who are your bets as busts this year? Ooh, top 12 picks. Ashton Genty. I believe he's still a top 12 pick. I don't want to bet against Saquon Barkley, but like the likelihood of, him, like if you guys look at historical data, once again, if a running back leads the league in touches the year prior, and with the playoff run that they had and the Super Bowl run that they had last year, he was well over 400 touches. They fall off of a cliff the next year. He's also dealing with the Madden curse and all the negative and terrible voodoo from miserable New York Giants fans. There's 3 curses he's dealing with. So I would say it's both of those guys. And then a third one, it's like Justin Jefferson is not somebody I want to fade and tell people to fade because the upside's always going to be there with Justin Jefferson. He's one of one, right? But I would say that like I'm hesitant with him this year because with JJ McCarthy, I don't believe he's going to get the volume required. No, it's not. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, like Justin Jefferson, I'm worried that he's touchdown dependent this year, but he could score the touchdowns with a quality run game. So I like him. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown. So Saquon Barkley, I hate to say it because if anybody can break these curses, it's Saquon Barkley. He's going to reverse hurdle them and he's going to make me eat my words. 100% Ashton Genty and fuck Amon-Ra St. Brown. Which second-year wide receivers do you think will make the leap? Roma Dunze has buzz behind Caleb Williams in Chicago. Can he outproduce DJ Moore? Here's the thing, man. I don't care about beat reports. I don't care about buzz. I don't care about any of that, right? For me, DJ Moore is still the wide receiver 1 there, but, like, I'm not attacking that receiving room. All answers lead to, like, well, I mean, if he has 6 good receiving options, including DeAndre Swift as a running back, and, like, DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore, Luther Burden, Roma Dunze, Cole Kmet, and Colson Lovin. Literally 6 good receiving options. The answer always leads back to it's Caleb Williams. The rest of them, it's like playing Russian roulette. And like, I don't have my disco ball just because my head is shiny right now and I had a fresh shave. Like, this is not a shiny disco ball where I could like, and if you guys don't know, my name is Disco. I know it's like a magic ball, but it's not a shiny disco ball where I could just project and predict who's going to be the wide receiver 1 there. The answer just leads back to I like Caleb Williams, who is going to take a leap as a second-year player. It's the 2 guys I've been pumping all offseason. My wide receiver 1 of the year is Brian Thomas Jr. and Xavier Worthy. I still have him as my wide receiver 9 on the year. So both of those guys are going to take a leap for you, buddy. Bone says, I need Nico Collins to have a good year. Took him in 2 leagues. Yeah, I got him in a couple leagues too. Which wide receiver 2 on their NFL team could sneak into wide receiver 1 fantasy territory? Devonta Smith and Jalen Waddle, right off the rip, and Emeka Egbuka. Good questions. Good questions. Thielen leaving vacates so many targets. Give me Tet everywhere. Hell yeah. You know what? Everybody's like, oh, well, is it going to be Jimmy Horn Jr.? Is it going to be Xavier Legette? No, Jatavian Sanders must start. You must start Jatavian Sanders. I know I haven't posted my Tet end video, but start Jatavian Sanders with confidence. Start Chuba. Start Tet with confidence. And Bryce Young is my QB 15 on the week. So yeah, I like all four of them. I need to cut a player to catch a defense. Jennings, Persall, Mason, Ollie, but I have HN. What do I do? Chat help? Jesus Christ. So, like, you don't have an IR spot for Juan Jennings? Who's your current, do you have a current defense on your roster? Because, like, if you have a current defense and you're just stashing that defense because you don't like the matchup, the answer is always just run with that defense. Do not cut one of these guys. None of these guys are cuttable, in my opinion. Or just tier up and trade up. I cannot recommend cutting any one of those guys. Your best case scenario, Jennings is on the IR and you get to put him on IR and pick up a defense that day, but hopefully you have same day waiver wire pickups. Adventures from the Q says full team PPR 10-man league, picked 8th, got Daniels, Chase Brown, Kamara, BTJ, McConkey, Kittle, bench, Tony Pollard, Tracy, Sutton, Tet McMillan, Persall, Golden, Prescott. So wait, like in that question you asked earlier, Golden wasn't an option? Why wasn't Golden an option? Because I'll tell you right now, I love Tyrone McMillan, but Golden's I have him ranked way higher. Yeah, give me Matthew Golden. It's either Ted or Golden. I love both of them. We have 134 people watching us on X. We got 18 people watching us here on the Big Draft Danger YouTube channel. So I'll queue up for a oh no, I can't queue up. I use that $10 for the pick'em. All right, guys, you guys want to see the pick'em again? Broke as a joke, man. All right, here's our pick'em. Once again, guys, use promo code DISCO to double your first deposit, dollar for dollar, up to $100. We'll move this. This is my favorite pick'em ticket. Once again, guys, 5 props here. So if you put 2 props, you bet on 2 props, you 3x your money. You get 3 times what you put down. If you put 3 props, it's 6x. If you put 4 props, it's 10x. 5 props is 20x. 6 props is 35x. 7 props is 65x. And then finally, 8 props is 100x. We've hit these, and we've hit these at a very high rate. This is based off of my analysis and my projections. This is my favorite pick'em ticket that could 20x your money. And if you guys want to tail, use promo code DISCO on Drafters Fantasy to double your first deposit, dollar for dollar, up to $100. It is the best promotion in the game. Everybody else is like 50% up to. This is the best one. It's 100% up to $100. So you put 100, you'll have 200. You put 25, you'll have 50. You put 50, you'll have 100. You put 75, you have 150. And this is how you can continue to support me and help me out. All right, we maxed out our Drafters wallet because there was a fantastic promo this weekend from Drafters. And, I enjoyed that promo a heck of a lot. Sneaky year 2 calls, Worthy and Coleman. I don't hate Coleman. I just need to see it to believe it. Like, I believe in the high upside. Don't get me wrong. But I think Worthy's just going to be on another planet this year. We're expecting a lot of Bijan, receiving work. Yeah. So if you look at Todd Bowles historically, his defense schematically gives up on a weekly basis. Like historically, Todd Bowles, the head coach, historically gives up top 5 production on a weekly basis, going back the last 5 to 6 years. Top 5 reception production. I'm not expecting a lot from Bijan on the ground, but obviously he's an explosive one-on-one kind of player. But as a reception player, yeah, I love Bijan Robinson's like receptions. Like I laddered Bijan Robinson's receptions not just from 3.5, but I laddered it all the way up to 8.5. So we took 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, what? 5.5, what? 6.5, what? 7.5, what? 8.5. Also laddered Christian Kirk's receptions prop up to 6.5, and I laddered Cooper Kupp's reception prop from 3.5 to 12.5. That's how you make money in the sports books, guys. All right. Bank says T Law, Fields, Chase Brown, Bijan Rob. Is that Bijan Robinson? Yeah. Hall, Mason, Jordan Mason, Brian Robinson Jr., Ridley, Olave, Downs, Coker, IR, Golden, McBride. With this team, who's a better stash? Thornton, Tesla, Chris, Jatavian Sanders, Strange. Who's your current tight end? McBride? Well, I would say it's not Strange because Strange and McBride have the same bye week. So the only reason why you would have another tight end is to play them during your starter's bye week. So I would say Strange is not the best stash. I would say Jatavian Sanders is a better stash than Strange. I hope that answers your question. Rookie quarterbacks don't tend to check down, and Penix in limited starts targets the RB around 10 to 15%. He's going to get volume. Penix hates tight ends and loves wide receivers, but Bijan is game script proof. Like, if you look at the targets, the rushing ability, the explosive plays, everything went up when Michael Penix went in because he became a viable deep ball threat. So, like, the last 3 or 4 games when Penix went in, they're stacked boxes. So when you look at stacked boxes, that means how many times does a defense put 8 men to stop the run? Because they didn't respect Christian Kirk, or not Christian Kirk, because they didn't respect Kirk Cousins. They stacked the box 76% of the time last year against the Atlanta Falcons. So that's why we didn't see a lot of explosives from Bijan. And then that's why, like, it was tough for him to outproduce his ADP. When they inserted the Penix, that went down to 50. So, like, the check down equity and upsides there. Teams are going to have to blitz to get home. And then as for your Kyle Pitts, like, if you look at the splits and, like, simply the splits of the deep ball targets, the quality targets, the cheat code targets, the ones that win fantasy football, and yes, they're touchdown dependent, but, and I know it's a very small sample size, but if you're looking at, like, where Kyle Pitts is currently going off the board, it's a risk I'm willing to take. Like, it was all high quality deep ball red zone targets. They just didn't connect because it's either misthrown or bad timing or just, like, straight up he was covered one-on-one. With that being said, I like that upside a lot. And the Atlanta offense is just one that you want to bet on early and often. Like Ray McLeod, in my opinion, if Darnell Mooney doesn't play, I think Ray McLeod is a smash DFS click. Forgot to mention my league is a 10-man standard. Is it worth keeping Evan Ingram, or should I grab someone like Tillman, Downs, Kirk, etc. off the way? No, keep Evan Ingram over all of those guys. If it's standard, yeah, keep Ingram off above all of those guys. Purdy or T-Law week 1 and flex. Ibuka, Monty, or Golden, 1 point PPR. Flexing Golden. And then Purdy or T-Law, I don't think you could go wrong. I'm just going to go with the guy who has, like, all of his weapons there, and that's Trevor Lawrence. So, yeah, Trevor Lawrence is my QB 10, I believe, on the week. And Brock Purdy is my QB 17 on the week, for what it's worth. So I'm leaning Trevor Lawrence there, brother. Good luck. All right. I'm going to give you guys another minute to ask questions. If not, this was fun. Thank you guys for bringing all these fantastic fantasy football questions. Tomorrow we got our inaugural Stand on Business show. We'll be doing our very best to answer all of your questions. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Jags at Panthers, T-Law all day. I believe the Jags are actually hosting the Panthers, but yeah. I'm with you on that one. Hell yeah. Guys, thank you. We'll be live tomorrow. I'll do my very best to answer all of your fantasy football questions with our special guests. Let's see if there's anybody from the community who's live right now, so we could go raid them. Yeah, we got Chev, legendary ball knower. It's like the most gangster name on the planet. We got do all these guys have the same stream up? Makes no sense. Who Hames is still alive? All right, 1 second. All right, guys, head over to Who Hames stream. Hit him with the disco rate. All right, here's the link. Am I starting Hampton over Pollard, Javonte, Monty? Right? Yes, you are starting Hampton over all of those guys, for sure. Appreciate you, man. God bless you, guys. Head over here. Say disco rate in the chat. Till next time, y'all, which is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Peace.